Hey fellas, this is Robbie speaking, and after rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho and reviewing it on my channel, I said in that video that I was going to watch and review Hunter x Hunter on this channel, and so it took me a while to binge watch this series because I was busy with my job, I was busy with my story, and just other stuff in life. And so every night when I would come home from work and watch Hunter x Hunter, it would only be like 1 or 2 episodes a night. And so it feels like it took me a while, but now I've just been so used to watching this series that after finishing it, it's like that habit is broken and it just feels weird. I already missed this series because, let's be real here, a lot of people who have watched Hunter x Hunter love this series, and so do I. Now, I do wish that I got into this series a long time ago, but Hunter x Hunter was a series that I didn't get my hands on until years and years ago when I was still living at my parents' house last decade. I would stay up at night just to watch Toonami on Adult Swim, and of course Hunter x Hunter was among those animes. And so I watched the very beginning to the beginning of the Chimera Ant arc, and I think around that time I moved out of my parents' house into the apartment I live in now. And so when I moved in here, I said to myself that I was not going to get cable because cable's expensive as hell. And so that put my watch of Hunter x Hunter on hold until not too long ago when I came across Netflix and I saw all 148 episodes of Hunter x Hunter, and it was an English dub too. And I know some people, they get salty about English dubs, but I enjoyed it. I watched it on Adult Swim Toonami, so I knew I had to finish it in a English dub. And wow, just what an experience this was. Just, this does not disappoint. This has got to be one of the best recommendations I've ever gotten from the anime community. And here we are with Hunter x Hunter, my review. No spoilers, do not worry. I will not give away any big details on what this series is. So Hunter x Hunter is based off of a manga that came out all the way back in 1998. And it's still going to this day, but we'll get into that in just a moment. It is by the same person, Yoshihiro Tagashi. I don't want to butcher his name, guys. I'm bad with Japanese names. And basically, he created one of my personal favorites, actually my #1 favorite anime, Yu Yu Hakusho, which is one of the things that pulled me into Hunter x Hunter, as well as others. And so, after completing Yu Yu Hakusho, Tagashi worked on another series called Level E, but that didn't last very long, and so after that, he went back to the Shonen genre and created Hunter x Hunter, and Hunter x Hunter would get its first anime adaptation in 1999, but would only last for 62 episodes, had some filler, and it lasted until 2001, so a couple years, obviously. And so, Hunter x Hunter would not get another anime adaptation until 2011 with this. It would last for about 148 episodes and would last until 2014 when it caught up to the source material, I believe. I'm not too familiar with it, guys, so just bear with me on it. I have to read the manga and maybe I need to do some more research. But what I do know is that Hunter x Hunter over the years has been on hiatus after hiatus after hiatus, and the reason why is because Tagashi has suffered back pains, and so usually Hunter x Hunter would come out for like a short period of time, like you may get like a couple chapters or so, and then he goes on another break, and then it's just the same thing, and Tagashi needs his rest. I mean, being a manga artist is quite tiring. Like, it can be very exhausting to the point where it can really jeopardize your health. I mean, we've heard some authors go through this and they end up suffering to the point where they could die. I mean, Berserk, just other just other manga artists in general just suffer from this, where they barely have any time to themselves, free time, downtime. It's a very, very hard life. And so Togashi, on the other hand, though, despite feeling his back pains, he feels determined to complete this series. And so, after watching 148 episodes, you see how much dedication he has to this series. Hunter x Hunter is about a boy named Gung who goes on adventures. He tries to get stronger. He tries to become a more experienced hunter, where this is a world where the biggest profession, the most powerful professions, are hunters. People who go around on quests and everything. And Gung is trying to find his father, make new friends, and protect as many friends as he can. So it sounds like your average shonen. Wrong. Hunter x Hunter takes so many different risks, different turns, to the point where it becomes a more unique shonen. And so Gung, yes, he is kind of the main character, but it's not always about him, to the point where he's not the main focus. He's more like the face of Hunter x Hunter, the series, and that the main focus of Hunter x Hunter is the world and the power system of Nen. And Gung's a great character, and I'll talk about Gung later, but it tries to expand without having Gung there. And I find that very unique, because some series, they have to have characters like Goku be there for almost every single moment, maybe even every episode, in order for it to be Dragon Ball. Gung doesn't fight the villain in every single story arc. It could be a totally different character that you don't normally see, and that fight can be so epic. In the Chimera Ant arc, you think Gung goes up against the main antagonist, the king of the Chimera Ants? No. I don't want to give spoilers away, but that fight between the king and his opponent, gold. Just gold. If there's one flaw that I had to pick with Hunter x Hunter, is that it could be a bit slow at times. Like, sometimes they talk a little too much. And I understand talking's important, but sometimes we need to get to the point of this story arc. And so, like, you'll have an entire episode where the characters are just talking. Like, I remember the Chimera Ant arc, like, towards the end, where the king is talking to two of his subordinates, and that's the entire episode. I'm just like, come on, pick up the pace. Hunter x Hunter may be a slow burn, but when you have patience for a slow burn like Hunter x Hunter, your patience really pays off to the point where you feel satisfied with the highlights. And now let's talk about the animation. Now, let's start off with the character designs. The character designs, usually when it comes to manga artists doing a new series, like their second, third, or whatever series, they usually take character designs from their previous works and just recycle them for their next series, their new series. Like, for example, Fairy Tail has character designs that are recycled for Eden Zero. And I'm not trash talking those series, those are good series. But Togashi only takes a little bit from Yu Yu Hakusho and then just adds other character designs for Hunter x Hunter. Like, you may see a character that looks a bit cartoony, or you may see a character that looks a bit mature, like from a much more mature 90s anime. Like, you may see a character that kind of looks like they belong in Cowboy Bebop. But, like, when you see all these characters together in the same room with different character designs, it doesn't look like you're seeing an eyesore. It actually looks like they belong together. Like, they just belong in the same world. And that's what I love about Togashi's art style, that he can just fit all these characters together. And now on to the colors, because I feel like the colors in this anime are handled quite differently compared to other animes. And what I mean by that is, take the opening for example. Like, say the first thing when you watch Hunter x Hunter for the first time, you see this light-hearted opening, and you see the bright colors of blue, of green, of yellow, just any color. And so when you see these colors, you get the idea that maybe it might be a lighthearted series, and that it may never be a series that will scar you for life. And I find that very clever, but also kinda like the animators are tricking you with the colors. It's like a mask where it's tricking you. And so when you reach York New City, my favorite story arc, that's when things get darker. And when things get darker, the shading comes in, and sometimes the backgrounds get darker and darker and darker, especially later in the Chimera Ant arc. Like, you see these shadowy dark backgrounds where you don't know what's beyond those shadows, and then all of a sudden you see purple glowingness just surrounding someone's body. That is Nen, and that's when you know that shit's about to go down. I just love those moments. Just the colors, again, the way they handle colors are just so smart, and something they would never do in other animes. It's like they're handling Hunter x Hunter differently with its animation. Now on to the music, because this is one of those pieces of animation where the music goes along so well. For example, the opening. I mentioned in the opening where it has very bright colors, which gives you an idea that it could be a lighthearted series. But it's also the high-pitched tone that also gives you an idea of that. The song Departure is so entertaining that after I watched all 148 episodes, the song Departure, I looked back at that, like rewatched it, and I began to understand what this song is really about. Like, if you do your research after you watch Hunter x Hunter, then you understand what it is. Or maybe you do your research before you watch all of Hunter x Hunter, and then you get the idea of what the show is going to be. Maybe. But you gotta look really hard into it. It's like detective work. Another thing with the music is the background music. Oh my god, this soundtrack is killer. Just like a lot of the soundtrack, it's just memorable. I mean, yeah, they do use the same soundtrack like once in a while. Like, they'll have the lighthearted music, but then later, as like a lot of episodes go by, like new story arcs, they'll add a new song, and they're very consistent with it. Especially in the Chimera Ant arc, where the king of the ants is having his epic fight, and there's that huge chorus song in the background. It's like in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, where you have the duel of fates with Obi-Wan, with Qui-Gon, against Darth Maul. It's like that music. And so, I could see John Williams playing this song. Just, I wish I could play that song for you right now, but copyright from YouTube. Like, they would hit me so hard with this, so you gotta look it up, though. You gotta look up that song. And now on to the characters. Let's start off with Gung. Gung may seem like your typical shonen protagonist, at least at first. He's naive, he's immature, he's adventurous, he loves making new friends, he has a dream, and so all the things, all the traits that make a shonen protagonist. So you may think like, oh, he's Goku, he's Luffy, he's Naruto, he's a lot of other characters that I've seen in a shonen anime / manga. But even if you think that way, he's still fun to see in every episode that he is in. Like, you really see that he develops as a character along the way. Yes, he gets stronger, but it also affects him at a mental state. You see, Gung's mentality is put to the test especially in the Chimera Ant arc. Gung starts putting his innocence aside just to put his anger out there. When he is serious, he means business, and he will play, let's just say, bad cop. Like, Gung is a more complex character. He's more like a complex version of Goku or Luffy if they lost their shit. And that's why we love Gung. And then we have Killua, the one character that sticks around with Gung throughout the entirety of the series. When Killua meets Gung for the first time, they become the best of friends so quickly. And you really feel for their friendship. But what makes Killua a bit of an opposite for Gung is that Gung came from a peaceful home, a peaceful island, where Killua came from a family of assassins and all they think about is killing. And so Killua, despite having those bad habits, wants to get away from that. And he sees Gung as the light at the end of the tunnel. You see Killua maybe not become an innocent person, but more like someone that has morals. And so when you get to the Chimera Ant arc, the tables turn where I said earlier Gung starts losing his shit, and Killua tries to do the same that Gung did for him. And then we have Leorio, probably one of the silliest characters in the show, maybe even the silliest of the four main characters. But Leorio has his serious moments. He does have a deeper meaning to the story of Hunter x Hunter. When we first see Leorio, he says that he just wants money, he just wants a nice car, he wants the ladies, he wants a mansion. And so you think that he's probably just some selfish person that's just full of himself. But then later, he has a bigger reason to become a hunter, a much more touching reason to become a hunter. And that's what I love about him, is that he is just a character where you see his motivations and you want to root for him. But my favorite character is Kurapika. Kurapika is on a quest for vengeance, and that's why he is trying to become a hunter. And when he gets closer and closer to achieving his goal by eliminating the Phantom Troop, the people that took down his clan, you see that he becomes blinded by vengeance to the point where he's endangering his comrades, including his friends as well. And sure, he does have a bit of morals, but much like Gung, Kurapika is sacrificing his heart, his morals, just to take down the Phantom Troop and finally avenge his clan. But the problem is that you worry more that he is going to lose it. As much as I'm scared of Gung losing his innocence, I worry more for Kurapika. Like, at least Gung is still around his friends, whereas Kurapika, he's just around comrades, and sometimes comrades are different from friends. And so Kurapika, when he goes up against the Phantom Troop, like, you see his innocence just slowly going away, and when the eyes glow red, that is not the Kurapika you first see in the first episode, in the first story arc. This is a different Kurapika. So, and we still don't know to this day, because at the very end of this anime, we see, well, this is just a little bit of minor spoilers, we see Kurapika still continuing his quest for vengeance. It seems. We don't know. And even though Kurapika has friends like Gung, like Killua, like Leorio, he's not always around them. He's only around them at the very beginning. And I know some people say, like, the first story arc is the weakest, but I don't think so. Because that's when all four of them are together. And that's when you really feel like this is when they're the happiest. And now we see Kurapika at his lowest. Like, it doesn't matter if he gets stronger. It doesn't matter if he finally avenges his clan and takes down the Phantom Troop officially. It's not enough to make Kurapika happy. And last but not least, we have Hisoka. And he's like the number one reason why I loved the English dub, because his voice actor did an amazing job. But anyway though, what makes Hisoka an interesting character is that he may come off as not a good guy. he may come off as maybe a villain, but he's not a threat to the main cast yet. You see, Hisoka has his own agendas. He has his own goals, and that's what makes him a bit selfish, but he's not like, oh, I gotta stop the main cast right now. He's not like that at all. Hisoka is also a bit unpredictable, where you don't know if he could kill you or if he's just there to say hi and walk away. Like, oh, hi, Gong. How you doing today? And then you kind of like nervous, like, is Hisoka gonna kill Gong now? Nope, he's just gonna walk away. Overall, Hunter x Hunter is an anime that everybody has to watch. Both anime fans and just fans of entertainment in general. I would not say that this is a gateway anime, but if you have like seen some shows where the animes are shorter, then maybe Hunter x Hunter is the next step for you. And so Hunter x Hunter is a series where I missed it already, and I just want to rewatch the anime again, but I have to move on to other series. But maybe someday, when I rewatch Hunter x Hunter, I'll do other videos on that series. Like maybe I'll do reviews on each story arc and maybe get into some spoilers because I was just held so back by not spoiling this series for you guys. And so, yeah. Either way though, this will not be the last time I talk about Hunter x Hunter. And I'm also going to try to get into the manga like I said before, though I worry that if I do get into the manga and finish it, like get caught up, I'm worried that I'm just gonna wait a long time. But Tagashi's health comes first. Like he has to work on himself, his health and everything. Because the last thing we want is for Tagashi to suffer the same fate as other manga artists who have suffered. And so we have to keep that in mind as anime/manga fans. So I'm gonna end the video with this. A 10 out of 10. I haven't rated anime like this in a long time since Yu Yu Hakusho. What did you guys think of the series? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I mean, if you did not like it, then I'm curious to know why. And if you are new to this channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, don't forget to comment, and don't forget that I have a book out on Amazon that I will leave in the description down below for you guys to check out, because some people have bought this already, and I'm curious to know your opinions if you have picked up a book already. But if you haven't, please get yourselves a copy, because I'm gonna keep doing this at the end of every single video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm Rob A, and may the anime force be with you.